It's almost embarrassing watching like a romance I really like. It's like admitting all of your like romantic fantasies. Hello fellow anime geeks and welcome to another review. I'm trying every anime series I can and dissecting it with my usual 4 questions. Today I have SEIJO no Maryoku wa Bannou desu, or The Saint's Magic Power is Omnipotent on Funi. The male tags are fantasy, romance, and slice of life, and I would say those are pretty much right. This is a fantasy isekai where our protagonist gets transported to another world where magic and monsters exist, but no reincarnation, no younger body, no pit stops to talk to the deity of said fantasy world. This is a good old-fashioned summoning, and it's this and a couple of other elements that actually remind me of the 90s, early 2000s shoujo fantasy that I used to watch. From accidentally summoning 2 girls, like in Fushigi Yuugi, to the type of reverse harem that we're building up around our protagonist. I mean, yes, she is surrounded by these like capable, interesting, good-looking men, but they're not all romantic interests. They are won over by her character, but really, she's only interested in one guy. This main romantic plotline reminds me of Shirayuki in that both romantic parties want to be the best versions of themselves in order to support the other, and it's got this very similar, calm, soothing tone. I mean, everybody is just a good person. Even the people that are at odds with our protagonist have some good in them. So I'm going to say light romantic drama, less so a slice of life, because there is actual plot progression in this story. SEIJO starts out with a very modern and kind of overused isekai trope of an overworked company employee who's staying overtime, but then she and a younger girl spontaneously get summoned to this new world where they're proclaimed to be saints whose mere presence is going to ward off the evil miasma and evil creatures off of the land. Or at least one of them might be the saint. Like Shirayuki, our protagonist keeps busy during adversity though. She develops an interest in medicine and works diligently while remaining humble. Like Honzuki, she starts seeking out the comforts of her old modern life, a kitchen, and ends up creating a couple of accidental business ventures along the way. She's gonna fix that. Dang, girl, it really is like Honzuki. She gets scolded for being too good at what she does, and she discovers that she's got these special powers. However, while mine collects dads, Sei collects brothers? I guess? But don't worry, they still all get their very own cheesy, super objectifying otome close-ups. But the main love story is really sweet and wholesome, and in my opinion, why this reverse harem actually works. I've actually noticed that in the very, very few harems and reverse harems that I think are actually good stories, there is just one main romantic strand that kind of drives the plot. So in this particular story, they actually did a really good job of building their interactions between the 2 parties until the romantic element was very crucial to our protagonist's life in this new world. I also think that their relationship is very intelligently written. Our protagonist, she steps into our romantic interest world, his social and political sphere, but she has her own ambitions and she's constantly working on improving herself. Our male lead in both of these stories, he works really hard to try to get close to her and to protect her in any way that he can. But he's still going to fulfill his own responsibilities. And I've just got to mention that all-star cast. I mean, they hired a lot of very skilled, very accomplished, very well-established voice actors. I mean, when Fukuyama Jun is a supporting character, that tells you a little bit about the caliber of the staff. And I'm mentioning it because I feel like their expertise really helped some of those very wholesome, but sometimes really cringy moments feel a little bit more natural.
怪我の経過を見たいあまり所長?
いや、なんでもない。
By the way, Seiya is apparently so cautious that he just had to jump across anime in order to get a few more materials.
煙幕を30、薬草は50、あと毒消し草も同じ数くれ。毒軽減の効果。
はい。
次、 毒無効の効果。
はい。
次、麻痺軽減と混乱軽減。
So, is it worthwhile? Well, I just really love well-developed, wholesome romance, and I thought that the ending was also really sweet and satisfying, so that's a yes for me. I'm gonna end up adding this to my personal rotation of like comfort romantic anime. However, I also really like fantasy, and I would have liked a little bit more information on the magic system in this world. How do her powers actually work? Why was she specifically summoned? And how is she able to communicate in and read the language of this kingdom? I feel like maybe we lost something from light novel to anime adaptation, because there were certainly several moments where I felt like the humor would have been played out a little bit better in the light novel, or you know, like the internal monologue should have been at the foreground, kind of like Kumo desu. So if you were looking for more funny, overpowered character kind of fantasy isekai, or a more comforting slice of life isekai like the title might imply, there is a lot of that, but that's not really the main focus. This is at its heart a light romantic drama. And on that note, I'll catch you in the next video. Sorry guys, this is a really cute anime, but what is up with all of the awkward, slightly suggestive mouth close-ups?